Welcome to the inaugural episode of Forced Perspective. It's a thing with video games. Yay. Today we'll be taking a look at Earthrune, a self-proclaimed action role-playing game. But, gonna let you in on a little secret. It's actually an isometric hack and slash. Shh. It's a secret. In this epic tale, you play as this thing. I call her Enchantress Smurf. You're doing your daily rounds of healing trees simply for your own smug self-satisfaction, when all of a sudden the villain temp agency sends over stock villain number 536, and he starts summoning incredibly threatening fireballs, that then immediately turn into significantly less threatening smoke balls, and then once again turn into even less threatening bats. I don't really know. Anyways, you pass out from what I assume to be sheer confusion and wake up to find a conveniently placed magic who's what's it, and this thinly veiled excuse for mouse cursor. Now, with your new magic dude and exposition spouting friend, you must collect all the celestial brush techniques and save the world. Or just the forest, it's not entirely clear. Alright, now that that's over with, we can actually start looking at things that matter. Like, the game? Exciting, I know. So, like I said, it's a hack and slash, and as such, the first thing we should probably take a look at is the combat. And honestly, I was impressed with how well they executed the basics. The animations are good and flow well, everything hits when it should, there's a decent amount of enemy diversity for such a short game anyways, and they're even nice enough to give you a dodge to avoid damage, which is great and all, but as we all know, it's not really enough. You need more moves, weapons that change fighting styles, really any number of things. This game chose no Okami-like gesture system, which is the main draw for the game, actually. Unfortunately, it doesn't add anything to the combat. The powers just aren't fun or useful. It's an Occam's razor scenario, where the basic attack is more effective than anything else. You could draw 15 lines on the screen to kill an enemy, or I could just left-click a few times. You could entangle your enemies and waste mana, or you could just dodge around them. And finally, I have the ability to summon fucking lightning, but in the time it takes me to draw the damn symbol, I could just do more damage by attacking their knees. And what? No, get that out of here. No, it doesn't even warrant discussion. It's more useless than the gestures are. No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the gestures now. We've moved on. The combat's done. Get out of here. Shoot. So, the gesture system works pretty well, actually, from a technical standpoint. Doesn't recognize right triangles, but right angles always kind of scared me anyways. Just so sharp. But yeah, it works the way it should. It recognizes what you're trying to do about 90% of the time. Why is that still up there? Unfortunately, the only real use for the gesture system is puzzles, and I use the word puzzle loosely, as at no point was I actually puzzled. They tell you exactly what you need to do. You just execute the command. The first puzzle you come across is a perfect example. You need to get here. So the game tells you to combine your powers to topple over this. Hell, they even give you the exact gestures you need to make. Well, that's fine. It's not a puzzle game anyways. Let's just continue. Okay, no, I said let's continue. No, I don't need to see the motions again. I just need this to work. Oh, it's okay, just okay. You see, it's my mistake. I thought it was my magic fucking powers that made the tower collapse. I didn't realize it was the mystical almighty rock of progression. It's my bad. Don't worry about it. And here we get to what I believe to be the worst problem by far. A lack of consistent player information. And I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone here by using the bosses as an example. So, the first boss, Mr. Insomnia over here. The game tells you exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, and what the outcome will be after you do said things, to the point of making the boss fight nearly pointless. Seriously, I had more trouble fighting the bats at the beginning of the game. But fast forward 30 minutes to this Zerg reject. Apparently the final boss didn't realize making someone vulnerable meant they flat out die, but whatever. And they don't give you anything. No warning as to where the rocks are gonna fall. And at this point, I already have an intense hatred for rocks, let alone ones I can't avoid. No indication that you can't damage her except for at a very precise moment. I mean, they still give you a combo counter, 'cause that's not misleading. I mean, they flat out refuse to give you any information apart from acid is bad. In a span of 30 minutes, they go from holding your hand so tight that there's no escape from its icy grasp to throwing you into a pit of snakes and telling you to figure it out. It's not great, and that's really all there is to it. So now we get to the part where I summarize everything without screaming about rocks. Oh, I hate them so much, though. Overall, I'd say that from a technical standpoint, given that it's a 6-month Institute project, it's pretty impressive. It runs smoothly, everything looks nice, and I only encountered a few bugs. Effects not loading on the second boss, and after completing the game, the menu bugged out. I will say that the lack of a transition animation between changing directions is a little strange, but still pretty solid technically. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the gameplay itself. The combat becomes boring very quickly, and they never add anything to remedy this. The puzzles and bosses aren't challenging or fun, just time-consuming. Honestly, if I wasn't making this video, I would have stopped playing way before the end. And I wouldn't have missed anything. The ending is so anticlimactic that I thought the game bugged out and skipped something. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't the worst game I've ever played, not by a long shot. And seeing as it's free to download from the link in the description, there's no reason not to give it a try for yourself. But still, it's not great. So that's the show, I guess. Anyways, I'm not gonna do the normal song and dance and ask you to like and subscribe and all that jazz. I will ask you to comment though, because it's kind of the entire reason why these first games are gonna be the free ones, so I can get some constructive criticism, as much feedback as possible. So if you could do that, that'd be great. Thanks.